Relating slope and y-intercept to linear equations, lesson 7 notes, example 6 continued. So we're going to do E and F. We're going to finish example 6 in this video. So let's start with E. Once again, they did not give me the slope, so I have to use the 2 points to find the slope. So to find the slope, I take y2, which is -7, minus y1, which is 8. In the denominator, I take x2, which is 12, minus x1, which is -8. Oops. So I start with my fraction button, -7 minus 8 in the numerator, and 12 minus -8 in the denominator. And we get -3/4. Our slope is -3/4. All right, so now we've got our slope and our y1, x, and x1 to plug in to the equation. So we have all our information now to plug into the equation. So let's start with y and then the opposite of y1. So the opposite of +8 would be -8. Equals the slope. So the slope is -3/4. Times x, and then the opposite of x1. So again, you could do this two ways. You could write it down as minus -8 like that. Or, since you're subtracting a negative, you could go right ahead and make it a positive to begin with. All right. Distributive property. This will stay y minus 8. -3/4 x is -3/4 x. -3/4 times 8, and you can use your calculator to do these. I'm just going to save us some time. 4 goes into 8 2 times, and 8 times -3 would be -6. All right. Last step is to isolate the variable y. So to get y by itself, I have to get rid of the -8 by adding 8 to both sides. So these would cancel, and we have y equals -3/4 x, and then 8 minus 6 is +2. If you don't have everything written down, take a moment to pause your video and get everything written down. Okay, F. F is done the same way we did D and E. We got to find the slope first. So y2 is 7 minus y1, which is -18. So there you could have also put 7 plus 18, because minus a negative would become positive. On the bottom, I have x2 minus x1, which is -9. So again, both of those, don't write this down, but you could have had 7 plus 18 over 6 plus 9. I would have accepted it either way. right, so let's put this in our calculator. Starting with the fraction button, I've got 7 minus negative 18 over 6 minus negative 9, which would be 5/3. So our slope, given these 2 points, is 5/3. All right, now we know m, x1, and y1. We know the m, the x1, and the y1. We're going to plug it into our equation. So I have y, and then the opposite of y1. So again, you could either put minus negative 18 like that, or you could write it as plus 18. I don't care which way you do it. Whatever you feel more comfortable with. Equals the slope, which would be 5/3 times x minus x1, or in other words, what is the opposite of x1? The opposite of negative 9 is positive 9. So again, you could have minus negative 9 there, or just change it to positive 9 right away. I'll show you how to do it if you did write the negative. So since you've got the double negatives, you could change it to positive like that. Instead of writing it down in another line, save yourself some time and energy and just change both negatives to positive like I did there in the video. Okay, next is the distributive property. So the y plus 18 would stay the same. 5/3 times x would be 5/3 x. And 5/3 times 9, again, use your calculator if you need to, but 3 goes into 9 3 times, and 3 times 5 is 15. Since they're both positive, it would be positive 15. One step left, and that step is to isolate the variable y. I want to get y by itself, so the opposite of adding 18 would be to subtract 18 from both sides of the equation. All right. Cancel that out. Now our last step. We've got 5/3 x. 15 minus 18 is negative 3. All right. If you have any questions, for example 6, I know that this is a difficult part of the lesson, so if you have any questions, please do not hesitate to ask.